I also wanted to ask you, what valuable lessons did you take away from your fight with Canelo that you're going to carry into the ring on October 15th?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I can take is just the experience in general. The experience isn't something that you can buy. You can't, you got to go through it to get it. And, I did that, and I did that with a lot of success against Canelo. Obviously I came up short, and there's no excuses there. I got with my team shortly after, and, we got right back in the gym and started working on things. And so just the experience, I've headlined Fox shows. I'm not headlining this one, but I've headlined other Fox shows. So the media obligations, I never felt like I was out of my depth with the media that we had to do, or even the fight. I felt like I handled the crowd well. But just being able to take that experience with me into these other big fights moving forward, that's priceless. So.
Yeah, and do you feel like this fight will go the distance, or are you pretty confident that you are going to stop it before the final bell?
I'm just going in there focused, and we have a game plan, and we're gonna get the job done in fashion. And whether that's stopping him, whether that's just putting a vicious ass whooping on him for 12 rounds, whatever it may be, we got a game plan. We're gonna stick to it, and regardless, I'm gonna be getting my hand raised in fashion. So.
All right, thank you, Caleb.
If you have questions from the media, by all means, raise your hand and then go ahead and we will call upon you. Back to you, Andrew.
Sorry about that. Yeah, apologies. James, you have the floor.
Gotcha. Thank you, Andrew. For Caleb, you said that you feel like you're living rent-free in his head and that he has a top-quality opponent in front of him and someone that he can't mess with. Is like the back and forth between you and Anthony kind of like a grudge match? As you said, you want to whip him. And on his side, he said that he wants to, blank you up. So how does that, tension between you and Anthony Dirrell, how you feel about that?
I mean, I really don't feel no type of way about it. So, again, like I said, he can say what he wants to say. And, I'm not sure if you heard me, say this shortly ago, but he sells a lot of wolf tickets and he barks a whole lot. But his bite ain't near what his bark is. And, his whole team, the same dude, been barking right beside him for the last, 7 years, and he's never had one successful title defense. So, in his last fight, he knocked out Andrew Hernandez, but Andrew Hernandez is a blown-up middleweight who was getting stopped at 154 pounds. So if you're getting stopped at 154 pounds, you know what I'm saying? He's not we're not even in the same galaxy with the guy that he knocked out. Before that, he had a draw with Chiron, who's a good fighter, but he fights at middleweight. Before that, he had a fight with Yildirim, and really, people thought Yildirim won the fight. He winds up getting the fight with Canelo, becoming the mandatory before Dirrell, but Dirrell won the fight. So how does that make sense? Because Yildirim, he should have got his hand raised. So before that, he's getting beat up by Davidson. The list goes on and on. He barks a lot like he's going to beat me up or knock me out. But when's the last time he beat a super middleweight? So, I mean.
Gotcha. I feel you there. Going into your training camp, how comfortable have you been over the course of this particular training camp, coming back off of, just being, having a break for a good little while?
Well, again, there's been a break with me being in the ring and fighting, but shortly after the Canelo fight, we got right back to work, and I've been having a lot of fun in the gym. It's been some of the most fun I've had. This has been this has been the best quality of sparring that I've ever had in the camp, and the most success that I've had in sparring in the camp. I've sparred a lot of, top people. I've sparred Carlos Adames. I sparred Shane Mosley Jr. I've sparred Amari Jones, who's a middleweight he's with Devon's camp. Who else? Chiron Davis. I've sparred Chiron Davis. Other great fighters too. So, there's been a lot of top quality sparring, and the gym has been fun. Having Breadman on the team with us, Stephen Edwards, along with my dad, has been great chemistry, real relaxed, easy going, but, we've been getting after it.
One more. How has it been having Breadman in your corner for this camp?
It's been great. Great chemistry. easygoing guy, like I said, but when, we get in the gym, we get to work, it's no bullshit. And that's how me and my dad like to operate. Once we get in the gym, it's time to go to work. It's time to put the hard hat on. So we've been having a lot of fun, and great chemistry between him and my dad. And we've been getting after it. We've been whooping a lot of ass.
All right, great. Thank you, James. Our next question is going to come from Ishmael Abdul Salam with Box Mayhem. Ishmael, if you want to mute yourself, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Andrew. Caleb, you mentioned that now that you've gotten that blessing of getting that super fight, getting the financial blessing that comes with it, that you're really focused on making sure that this second half of your career that you go down is not just the top middleweight, but maybe one of the greatest super middleweights of all time. What fights do you think you need to get to ensure that you get that Hall of Fame career that you're looking to get?
Okay, yeah, and just so I can clarify, even the first half of my career, or the beginning of my career, since I was a kid, it's never been about being famous or the money. It's been about the legacy and knowing that if I make the right moves in the ring, that everything else will come with it. So I don't need to focus on money or being famous or being this or that. So that's been my mentality since the beginning of my career, since I was a kid, along with my father, and I continue to finish out my career the same way. But the fights, first things first, that's just handling, getting to your question, first thing first is just handling business on October 15th. He is a former two-time world champion, so just handling this fight, winning in fashion, getting my hand raised, that's the first step to moving on to bigger and better, and cementing my legacy as one of the greatest super middleweights of this era. So.
And my last question for you would be, we had Anthony earlier and we were asking him, what is the issue that he has with you? He really couldn't name it. He just said that he wanted to really put a hurting on you. From your perspective, do you think it's just simply jealousy? The fact that you mentioned just now that he wanted that Canelo fight, hasn't gotten it, you've gotten that super fight already. Do you think it just stems from professional jealousy as far as how far you've gotten in your career already compared to where he is as an older fighter?
Absolutely. I mean, don't say that you're not emotional and then say that you hate me. You know what I'm saying? Or don't say that I'm a nothing or a nobody and then in the same sentence say that you hate me. Because if you hate me, I'm a something and I'm a somebody to you. And, if I was, like he claims, a nothing and a nobody to him, he wouldn't even pay me no mind. I'd be like one of the fighters that he fought coming up. He wouldn't like me, but he wouldn't have much to say about me. He'd just whoop my ass and just, keep on moving about, his career. But that's not what I am to him. And I definitely think it stems from a lot of jealousy. I only have 22 fights, but, I've accomplished a lot in boxing. I've been, PBC prospect. And even though who cares about that, I'm just saying that's another, feather in my hat. I've fought Jose Uzcategui, who beat up his brother and not stopped his brother twice, with only 17 fights, 17 fights as an underdog, and, did what I did against him to become a world champion. I've been someone who's actually had world title defenses multiple times, something he's never done. I put myself in position to fight Canelo. And you can say it's just at the right time. Well, when is it ever the wrong time to become a world champion and have a successful title defense? So I put myself in position by being a guy and winning a world title against someone I was an underdog against supposed to get knocked out. So how many guys do that in this era? So I definitely think, there's a lot of jealousy there, but hey, he can be mad, he can hate me, he can feel however he wants. He's not a bully. He likes to act like a bully. Like I said, he sells a lot of wolf tickets. He's not a bully. I don't care where he's from. I don't give a fuck about where he's from or what he says or him and his team barking. They've been doing that for the last 7 years, and they're still not where they want to be. So don't know that mean nothing to me, really.